Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. And welcome to another episode of TikTok Trials, a series I didn't know was a series, where I try some crazy devices, skincare techniques, and skincare products that have gone viral on TikTok, so you don't have to. Let me risk my skin for you. And today we'll be testing the W Skin Aqua Peel Machine. I actually first saw this not over on TikTok but here on YouTube, on Tina Young's YouTube channel, right at the beginning of the year. That's how long I've been holding on to this for. Then I kind of forgot about it, but now I see it everywhere. So what is this machine? It's an at-home hydrofacial. Hydrofacial is actually a facial that is a trademarked name of an aquafacial. Aquafacial being the overall process, and this is a process where they mix hydration with exfoliation. Something that's actually been very popular in South Korea for years, and it's supposed to be popular for being effective yet non-intrusive on the skin, supposedly making this a possible alternative to chemical peels, laser facials that may leave some people's skin red and very irritated. The hydrofacial cleanses, exfoliates, and hydrates the skin, potentially helping treat acne, dryness, fine lines, all in multiple steps. According to Healthline, the hydrofacial benefits are said to help improve overall skin texture, tone, and appearance, and this is due to the deep exfoliation that cleanses your pores, removing any dead skin, removing debris, and allowing better penetration of your following skincare steps. Most importantly, serums that you pick for your skincare concerns. So this Aqua Peel machine supposedly gives you that hydrofacial experience at home, rather than doing it all in 4 different steps. I think this does it all in one. We're gonna find out. I should read the instructions. So on the website, they say that the W Skin Aquafacial is a revolutionary at-home device that provides the same brilliant results as professional in-office hypodermabrasion treatments. A vacuum suction is combined with hydrating solution, which is in here. Is this it? I hope this is it. Yes, we have the solution here to exfoliate, deep cleanse, and hydrate the skin. 1-year warranty. Oh, that's good. This was expensive, you know. How much was this? This was £209. Oh, so they've got like different tips. So we change the tips as we go. So they got one for forehead and chin, one for cheeks, and one for eye area and nose. I will be avoiding my cheeks because I am rosacea prone and I really don't want to fuck about my skin that much. They have 4 different modes as well for basic cleansing, pore cleansing, removing blackheads, device cleansing, and it's clinically proven, which I'm not sure means anything, to be honest with you. But before we do something crazy to my skin, I had to check in with a professional. So I reached out to one of my dermatologist friends, Dr. Shah. So I had a few questions for him, and I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't gonna completely destroy my face. You know, I want a career at the end of this still. Please excuse the audio in this on my behalf. My AirPods broke. They didn't break, they ran out of battery. I'm being dramatic. They ran out of battery right at the last minute and I panicked and I just used my Mac audio and it's not very good. So, but you get the idea. I've not used it just yet because I wanted to speak to you before I used it.
Oh, okay. So you haven't experienced.
I haven't yet. No, this is actually my first time opening it. Then it comes with a solution in here. So it does come with a solution, which I believe is salicylic acid. It said.
Because I saw that it had some irritating ingredients like tea tree oil. Good, exactly. So ingredients: hydrating, glycerin, niacinamide, tea tree, which can be like irritating for some people, but it has some anti-acne, anti-inflammatory properties, but does cause allergy in quite a bit of people. Witch hazel, which can have some alcohols in it, but it's not the devil or anything like that. But then it does have salicylic acid, which can help exfoliate. So that, and peppermint oil, which can be irritating for people. God. So yeah. So, and for you, who I believe has rosacea prone skin, I would, this may be a little irritating for you, but let's talk about pore vacuums in general. The issue is I've seen so many people come with bruising from these. It's just, they create so much suction that what ends up happening is it pulls your capillaries, your blood vessels into the device and it ruptures them. And then you release all this blood into the skin, and then you end up with bruising, you end up with some pigmentation from that, and it takes a long time to heal. So you end up trying to clear your pores out, and you end up off way worse than when you started. And so that's why I'm not a huge fan of pore vacuums overall. Now this one, it looks like they try to blend, we have something called hydrofacial. I don't know if you've ever heard of hydrofacial before.
Saw that was kind of the brand name of the overall facial, and the aquafacial is just kind of like the, not even related to them, but it's like just kind of generalized term for it. But I watched a quick video of it being done, but didn't really quite understand what was being done.
Yeah, it's basically a 4-step treatment where one, they like cleanse the skin and prep it, get it ready. Then they do basically they add a exfoliant, like I think it's glycolic acid and salicylic acid, and that's the liquid, similar to what you're using
Wow.
here.
Okay.
So it has a cleansing phase, it has an exfoliation phase, then it does the suction phase with the water, where it kind of tries to clear out the pores and stuff that's been basically emulsified by the liquids. And then after that, they add a hydrating tip that adds in like hyaluronic acid and other hydrating ingredients. And then basically, it's a 4-step process. And the goal is to really just exfoliate the skin and try to clear the pores out. And this is done in spas by estheticians usually.
So
It looks like
I was going to say it's just so it's a 4 separate steps. It's not an all-in-one machine, right? So in the spas, it'll be one step. Exfoliation is separate to the hydration, right? It's not just a blast your face kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's the same device, but they use like 4 different tips, and they go through 4 different settings with the same device. And so it's 4 steps, same device though that they use.
Okay. With my rosacea in mind, like I'm looking at my monitor now, and I can see my like the blood vessels I have from just being rosacea prone. I guess I don't know. They've just been there for as long as I can remember. But also, my nose is probably where I would want to use this the most, because it's the most like blackheady, sebum-y, sebaceous-y, pory, all the technical words, So is it something really I should avoid, especially on my cheeks? Should I just be avoiding where I'm rosacea prone, basically, because they're already burst, right? I don't want to do it more.
Yeah, I mean, you could basically make it worse. I think the nose is a little bit more resistant because you have more sebaceous glands on the nose. I think through the cheeks, you'll notice that your skin is a lot more sensitive and your nose is not as sensitive, even though it has those rosacea features on it. So you can probably get away with it on the nose. And that's where I would try it first and see how you do with it. I do prefer this to regular pore vacuums, because regular pore vacuums, there's so much, like, the problem is with they stay in one place for too long.
Yes.
And the settings are too high. And then if you don't move the device quickly, you end up just pulling skin in, and that's where you really end up increasing the pressure and rupturing those vessels. Where this device looks like you can glide it pretty easily because of the liquid in the device. And so if you're quick with it and use it right, you can probably do this okay. So I would actually say that it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to. It's not the worst thing. It's.
Okay.
I look at like levels of things. So it's like pore vacuums are like way down here. This aquafacial device is a little bit above that, and then like getting like a hydrofacial would be like the supreme form of this, and that would be done by an esthetician, but can be expensive for people.
Is there a benefit to exfoliating and hydrating so closely together for the skin? Because often with my chemical exfoliants, they're like applied to dry skin. And I often think that because your skin, when it's damp and hydrated, it can make the exfoliant more irritating. Is that true? Is that something that could potentially happen?
It is. So when your skin is damp, that's when it's most likely to absorb things, which is why people with dry skin, we always say to moisturize as soon as you get out of the shower, because that's when you're going to absorb the moisturizer the best. And that's also where you're going to have the most evaporative loss. And so hydrating close to when your skin is wet is really, really important. But it does increase the absorption of other skincare ingredients when your skin is damp. Now, the question of why you would apply salicylic acid to dry skin, because actually that's what, if you look at the Paula's Choice product or any of the ordinary salicylic acid products, always tells you to apply your salicylic acid to dry skin. One, it's because it's going to increase the absorption if you have it on wet skin, but also we don't really know how stable salicylic acid is. If you put it in water, it's going to raise the pH of it, and it's going to make it less effective, most likely. And so that's why they usually say that. So then the question with this exfoliant liquid is, how effective is it really going to be if it's in a water base mixed with all these other ingredients? It's probably not going to be as effective as a pH of 3 salicylic acid product.
Which makes me think, is this pretty much, it's just going to be the vacuuming that's going to do the majority of the work really here? It's
Probably. But the water in it kind of nicely will try to break up some of the stuff that's in the pores to help it extract a little bit easier. It's almost like, have you ever seen those like facial steaming devices?
Yes, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of them because I think they end up drying out the skin. And especially if you're rosacea prone, that heat can really inflame your blood vessels. But it's sort of the same concept in the sense that if you have liquid or if you're in like a sauna, what ends up happening is that it ends up like dissolving or breaking up a lot of that gunk that's in your pores. And then when you use the suction device, it will come out easier. So if you use a regular pore vacuum, you're completely relying on just pure pressure suction. And that stuff might be really adherent and really stuck into those pores. And so you're using a lot of suction to get these out. Whereas if you use water to try to help dissolve a little bit of that, it will come out a little bit easier, which is nice.
This is sounding less threatening than I thought it was, to be honest with you.
I don't highly recommend it. I really don't. I mean, I personally wouldn't probably purchase this device or use it, but I don't think it's the worst thing, actually, the more that I look at it. I think you got to have quick movements. You put it down, you make sure the skin's a little bit damp, and you glide quickly with the suction. Don't stay in one area for too long. You're going to notice that your skin's going to get red and pink a little bit after you use it because it is going to increase blood flow to the skin temporarily. But just don't stay in one spot for too long because with someone like you, you're going to end up with some bruising, especially if you have a lot of capillaries on the surface. I wonder, my question, I guess, is can you swap it out for another solution? That's sort of the $1 million question for me because I don't have the device, but I'm curious, could you just put in like the Anchilist hyaluronic acid solution in there and just use it as almost like a hydrating facial?
I don't see why, because it's just a liquid. I'm pretty sure as long as I get the right texture, do you know what I mean, like the right fluidity, I don't see why not.
Because I think you could probably concoct a better solution if you could get the right consistency. Is put something that your skin tolerates, like an exfoliant, maybe the lactic acid from The Ordinary or something. If it's the same consistency, you drop it in there and it's going to be a little bit more gentle for your skin. So I would potentially think about that as instead of using this solution, which could be irritating.
On that note, are there any final warnings or words of wisdom before I now go off and use this?
One thing, low suction. If you have control of the suction, which I don't know if you do on this device, but a lot of pore vacuums, you can change the suction level. So everything in skincare, philosophy-wise, I always say, start low, go slow. So start the lowest energy level, quick movements, don't stay in one spot for too long, and start on just your nose area, see how you tolerate it. If you do okay with it, wait a couple minutes, see how your skin reacts to it. Then I would start to use it over my whole face, maybe increase the suction in the areas that that you have the most clogged pores. So maybe on your nose, like you were saying, where you notice the most sebaceous filaments, I would maybe kick up the volume there, but definitely start low. A lot of people are like, I want to see results quick. They put it on level 3, and they go all the way to the wall with it, and that's how you damage your skin. So I would go slow with it. And then I would try it potentially with maybe not this solution, but something that your skin tolerates well, because you could have a reaction just to the solution alone and it wouldn't even be the device's problem. So I'm curious to see how you do with it and whether or not you end up recommending it. But I think it's better than a pore vacuum. Don't think it's a necessary part of a skincare routine, right. But I think you might see some benefit with it.
So looking at their website, I feel a lot less nervous about using this device now I've spoken to Dr. Shah, and I wouldn't say had his approval, but I feel like he's not as concerned about this device as a lot of other kind of at-home spa facial tools. He doesn't condone it, but I don't feel like I'm doing such a terrible thing. So as Dr. Shah suggested, I'm going to work on mainly my T-zone, starting with my nose. I feel like that's one of the only places we will see results using their solution. I then want to go on my forehead with my own solution. It might break the machine. We don't know. It might not work at all, but I kind of want to test it out. Oh, I meant to charge it. Shit. Oh, so you charge it in the actual box that it comes with. Oh, crap. In the instructions, they do say who should avoid this, and they do include injured injured skin, traumatized skin, skin that's been exposed to recent sun exposure, eczema, open wounds, open infections, cold sores, silicone implants, or areas injected with fills or toxins. We're just going to have to avoid there. Consult your physician if you have rosacea. I feel like I half done that, but that wasn't medical advice he was giving me. So there are 3 different sized nozzles, as we know. They've got tiny holes in. Tiny holes, so one is where the solution comes out, then one is the vacuum. So it's not a huge vacuum head. So hopefully that means it's going to be gentle. So the device is fully charged. Welcome to my face. I want you to just have a good look at what's going on. I purposely not exfoliated for about a week to see if this helps in any way whatsoever. So let's go. So we're going to go for the nose. We're going to do the small cleaning tip. Following Dr. Shah's advice, I'm going to start with a low energy level. Oh, I haven't even put the solution in yet. Crap. How do I do this? Here. I don't know how much we put in. I just guess. Oh, it does smell very strongly of peppermint. I'm not massively into that. Knowing that my skin isn't too fond of peppermint. Then it says to test the device and make sure it comes out. Wait, something's not right. Okay, so let's go. Oh. The suction doesn't feel that strong at all. In fact, I'm struggling to keep it on my nose. Ooh. I'm definitely going quite red, which is expected. I've got to keep moving because we don't want any bruising like last time. It's very hard to keep the suction like fully on your nose but I keep losing that suction. What? It doesn't say anywhere what that beeping is. All right, you know what? I've attacked my nose enough. Let's have a look. My pores look bigger there. Is that just me or does that look bigger? I feel like it's brought blackheads to the surface rather than... I don't remember that looking like that. I'm going to have to look in a real mirror, but I don't know. It doesn't look like it. My pores look bigger. I'm really confused. There is many a bit floating around in there. I don't really know what they are. Sebaceous filaments, maybe? Okay, so I'm going to take one of my favorite gentle exfoliants, but also hydrating product. This is the PHA toner from the Inkey List. I use this on my whole body. So we're going to see if this does the job. It's the same kind of liquidy, pretty much water consistency, so it should be able to pass through the machine absolutely fine. Here it is. Okay. So the instructions say to use the largest cleaning tip on your forehead. So that's what I'm gonna do. And on level 2, which is just one level up from what I'd used on my nose. Let's see how this goes. Is it always gonna make that noise? Oh, it says do it back and forth, so it's meant to be like this. Oh. Let's do my head in. Can't stand that noise. What is that? I mean, honestly, this suction is a lot stronger. I feel like it makes my pores look really obvious. That's the most infuriating noise ever. I mean, it feels like the exfoliating toner is working absolutely fine in here. It's passing through well. It was coming out absolutely fine. We've used a fair amount. My pores look really big. They look huge, and I don't think they looked like that before. Like, look at those. I feel like I can literally count them. Okay, I'm going to give my skin some time to calm down, and then we'll come back and look. I'm not liking this so far at all. I'm not, like, overly impressed, to be honest. I mean, my skin's red. I knew it was going to be a little bit red. That's going to be part of the whole process if you're using a pore vacuum, right? You're irritating your skin. And Dr. Shah did warn me that, you know, in areas like my nose where I have rosacea, it could be a little bit more sensitive. I think I made it a little bit red on the very tip of my nose and down the side here. My forehead, especially here. You know, I am using lighting on purpose that shows up the majority of the texture on my skin because... my personal opinion is I'm a skincare channel. I want you to see what my skin is. In natural lighting, my skin looked pretty smooth. a bit red. Those blackheads that I kind of saw earlier, completely gone. So it did take those away. I'm guessing it's just because I didn't charge the battery properly that it didn't have that strength that I needed it to. My nose does look clear. Yes, my forehead looks very pory and porous. So I would like this to calm down a bit. Then maybe in a couple of hours we'll come back again and kind of see with the redness gone what the real effects of it after is. But so far I'm like, does this really need to exist? I get the in the office kind of reason why you want to go for a hydrofacial, but this tool just feels a little bit like, why do I need to do this? If I wanted to do this, I could pore vacuum and then use an exfoliant over the top. I'm not quite feeling or seeing the benefits of doing both of those at the same time. This one, the water does look completely different with the different with my choice of exfoliant. When you look through the light, you can see a few like little bits floating around in it, so it still looks like it did a relatively good job. I don't know. Let's let it calm down. It'll be a few hours. I'll get myself ready and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's the next day. It's actually the morning. This is my clean skin with nothing else on it. Honestly, I don't see much of a difference. Take a look at the before and afters, but if anything, I think a few of my pores are more obvious. My skin's obviously a little bit red and bruised, which will hopefully go down by tomorrow. I hope so, because I have something to film tomorrow. But I personally don't see why anybody really needs this. I think it's a bit useless. I think, do they estheticians call their places salons? I don't know. Practice? I don't know. Studios? If you go to an esthetician and have this done, I get the benefits because you do it in these different stages. Each step is separate, so they kind of concentrate on that one step more. I feel like the order of that process makes sense. Whilst trying to do a 2-in-1, 3-in-1 or whatever, it's kind of a bit weird to me. I personally don't see how this is any different from using a pore vacuum and then exfoliating over the top of it. Like it's not like the exfoliation is being pushed into your pores or anything. It's literally just being wet over your face, and I just don't see the benefit. I personally don't get it. Was it bad? No, I just don't get the results that people were saying were there. So my monitor's here and I keep looking at myself. I'm like, nothing's different. I don't know. The solution was a little bit irritating. I put that all down to the peppermint, but I knew that was going to be irritating for me, whatever. But let me know if you would try this, and let me know if there's any other tools, skincare techniques, whatever that you'd like me to try. With all of these videos, I will have one of my professional friends have a little chat with me, just in case anything goes drastically wrong. But yeah, leave those suggestions in the comments down below. You can watch some more viral TikTok trials here and some light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.